welcome back. So in last lecture we have seen that how we can download all the freely available data from the different website which is managed by the different space agencies, and we have also saw that how we can purchase data from the NRSC. So now in this lecture we will discuss about the QGIS, that is a freely available GIS platform. You can visualize and manage all your satellite data using this QGIS platform. So first we will see how we can download and install this QGIS software in our PC. So the link is given here. When you will click on this link, so this web page will open, and in this web page you can see this is here you can see the download option, that is the QGIS 3.34. so this is the QGIS version 3.34. so this one is the latest version, and here in this all release option you can see when you will click in this option here. So in the window option, so this QGIS is available for the Android, MacBook and the Windows. So this is for the all the QGIS version starting from the 0.10 to the 3.34, that is the latest version of the QGIS. So you can download any of this version in your PC to use this QGIS software. So you can say to download this QGIS setup, you just have to click any of this version setup, and your QGIS setup will download and you have to install in your PC. Once you have installed this in your PC, so after opening the QGIS software, your page will look like this. So here you will see few options are given. One is news and the another is the project template. So in this project template, because we have this new empty project, you can see over here. So you have to just open this new empty project. So once you will click on this empty project, so you can see such type of outlet. And first you have to explore this website and you have to understand few of the options to get a hand-on experience on this website, on this software. So in this there is few options are mentioned over there. First is the project. In this project option you can see the new and new from template. So these are the options through which you can create a new template, and the edit option. There is some other informations are given in the view option. So in the view option you can see there is a panel option. In the panel option you can enable some of the option like the browser or the layer. So this layer option is important because all the data which you will open on this platform, so that will show in the layer option. So suppose now this layer option is enabled by default. If I close this, so here you can see your layer option is not available here, and to see the layer option you have to just enable the layer option. Now you can see this is your layer option, and this one is your browser option. From here you can see this will direct you to your PC storage. So from there you can directly import your data on this software. And the another option is if you want to so on this right side of your screen you can see this is completely black. So here you will see all the data which you are importing on this platform. So suppose I want to import the data which I have downloaded in the earlier lectures. So suppose I want to analyze my SRTM data. So to import the SRTM data, so you have to go to the layer option, and here you can see there is few options are given. One is create layer. So this is important when you want to create a new shapefile layer. So in that time you can use this option. And now we want to add data, so we have to go to the add layer option, and in add layer option you can see there is few options are given: add vector layer, add raster layer, mesh layer, and likewise there are many options. So these all options are basically showing a kind of data format. So the vector layers means, so all your digitally acquired data have some kind of information. So either it is a vector layer or it is a raster layer. So all the images which have the pixel values or the DN values associated with it, so those data are known as the raster data. And the data or the layers which have only points or the lines which are connected by the points, or the polygon which are connected by the lines, so all these data are the vector layers. So if you want to add vector layer, so in that case you have to go to the vector layer option, or if you want to open the raster layer, means any kind of image you want to open, so in that case you have to go to the raster layer. So I want to just add the DEM that we have downloaded. So that DEM is a raster layer, so I will click on the raster layer. So once you click the raster layer, this will ask you to choose the source where you have saved your data. This was the file which I have downloaded in the earlier lectures. So I will just open, and here in add option you just open your data. So once you open your data, so you can see this is your SRTM data which we have downloaded. So in layer panel you will see that your data is open. So in the left side, so once you click on this layer and you right click on this layer, so you will see some of the options are given. So you have to explore all this option with time, so that you will get a kind of hand-on experience. So what all these options are used for. So suppose zoom to the layer means that once you click to the zoom to the layer, this will directly zoom on the layer. And the copy layer means you can just copy your layer, rename layer, duplicate your layer, or you can remove your layer. And one of the most important option is the property. So once when you go to the property option, so here you can see here you can means manage your data by giving some of the information. So in the property option, first you will see the information tab. So in the information, all the information which was saved in the form of metadata in your raw data, that you can see over here. So here you can see the CRS, that is the coordinate reference system. So every data has its own coordinate data is acquired in a certain geographic reference system. So the one of the most commonly used geographic reference system is a WGS 84. So that is the World Geodetic System, and this was developed in 1984. That's why it's called the WGS 84. So WGS 84 is a datum or is a reference frame which is used to distance or measure or identify any point on the Earth's surface. So you need a kind of reference system. So this WGS84 is a datum, and it is a geocentric datum. That means it consider that the earth center of mass as a point, and with respect to the earth center of mass it just calculate the latitude and longitude on the surface of the earth. So another informations are also given over here, the pixel size and the latitude longitude of this particular scene. So all the information you can get from here. In the symbology option you can simply change, or you can analyze your image by giving or changing some of the information. So in by default you can see here in band rendering option, render type, it's a single band gray color. So that's why your image is looks like a black and white color. So you can make it more interpretable by giving some the color, or you can generate the hillshade from this image, because this is a DEM and it is associated the elevation data. So you can create the hillshade. So to generate the hillshade, you can see here the hillshade option is given. So after clicking the hillshade you can just apply, and now you can see this is the hillshade, and you can enhance this hillshade by changing the jet factor. So jet factor is basically your exaggerated elevation value. So you can change it accordingly so that your data will smooth. So here you can see that by changing this jet factor value you will be able to get a more clear picture of your DEM. So I will just keep it, I will change this according to, okay. So now you can see this is my DEM. Here you can see all the elevation information. So this is the river, one of the famous river of this region is the Kosi river, and this here you can see the fan shape. So with this DEM, when you analyze or process this DEM on the GIS platform, that will help you to interpret the information from your image. So with this DEM with a 30-meter resolution, you can see you can at least identify the fans, rivers, mountains, or the Indo-Gangetic plain. So this is the image of the Himalaya. This portion is the sub-Himalaya, and this is the Indo-Gangetic plain. So and this is the Kosi river. This one is the Dapka river, and this one is the Bor river. So this is the central Himalaya portion. So and this is a completely black and white image. So you can give it give the color to this image so that you can interpret the image. So to assign the color, you have to just go to the single band pseudo color. So because this is a single band image, so for that you have to go to the single band pseudo color. If your image has multiple bands, in case for example in the Landsat data, in Landsat data you have multiple bands. So in that case if you analyze your Landsat data in the QGIS platform, so you can choose the multi-band colors. For this option you can for this image, if I choose the multi-band color, you can see here I can see only one band, that is the gray band. For because this is the single band image, so I have to choose the single band pseudo color. So I can assign a color to this to assign the color in your single band image. You have to go to the single band pseudo color, and in single band pseudo color here you can see the color ramp. In the from the color ramp option you can choose the color ramp and you just apply. So this will assign the color according to elevation of your elevation data available in your image. So this blue color is basically your highly elevated area and this red color is your low elevation area in this image. So this is simply a color map of your DEM. So you can assign color in your hillshade map also. For that you have to just first make it to the gray scale and you just copy, duplicate the layer. So now just make one of the image to the hillshade. Suppose I will just make this one the hillshade. So you increase the jet factor little bit. Okay. Now go to this one, the first one, and give it to the single band pseudo color. Apply. You can see this one is overlay on the above the hillshade. So to make it the hillshade, you have to just do the blending. So in blending option you have to just multiply and that will create the hillshade in the color form. So you can see now the image is much more interpretable. So you can extract the information more, you can get the more clear information from this color hillshade map. So likewise you can change the color also if you because this is the elevation map or elevation data. So in the color ramp you have to just go to the create new color ramp and in the catalog option you will see different option according to the topography. So in the topography, so there is some standard color chart is available and you can use this color chart. So here you can see in the topography option there is elevation. So this is the standard color ramp for the elevation and you can use this elevation chart for your map also. So now you can see your map is looks like much more interpretable and you can get the clear information about the elevation. This brownish region is your high elevation region and this bluish region is your low elevation region. So this is your DEM map and apart from this you can do much more with this GIS software. So you can add the base map also. To add the base map you have to just go to the web portion. Here in the web portion you can see only the meta search is available and one plugin is available in the software. So that is known as the quick map service. You have to just search quick map service in your plugin and here you can see the quick map service. This you have to install in your software. So from this install plugin option you can install the quick map service and this quick map service will allow you to open the base map. So now you go to the web page and here you can see the quick map service and you can see the, so in the quick map service you can see there is some of the information is available and if you want to add more information, you have to just search in the search QMS option. From this tab you can add the Google satellite images to the your quick map service. So here you can see different maps are available, and we will choose the Google. So here you can see the Google Maps are also available. So Google Road, Google Satellite Hybrid, Google Terrain, Google Terrain Hybrid, Google Traffic. So we will just choose the Google Satellite Hybrid map. So you have to just add, and now you can see your base map is also added to your software. So with this base map you can see where your image is lying over over the globe, so that you can easily see through this. So the this one is the Google Hybrid, and you can just you can also add the Google Terrain. So here in your layer option you can see the Google Terrain option is also available. You can see the Google Satellite Hybrid map is also open here, and you can add the Google Satellite map also. So the Google Satellite map, that will only show you the geographic information, and you have to just disable this Google Satellite Hybrid. Here you can see this is the Google Satellite map. So similarly you can add many more maps based on your interest. You can add these maps over the your QGIS platform. So many more options are available in this platform, this software. So you through this plugin option you can install, or you can add different plugins in your software according to your interest. Suppose I want to just there is one plugin is called map. So there is one option, map swiping tool. So this tool will is useful when you are dealing with multiple images in your over this platform. So this here, once you install this plugin, you can see the map swiper tool is available over here. So you can just you can swipe your map with this map swiper tool. So to swipe your map, you just have to click on which map you want to swipe, and then you go to the map swipe tool and see you can just swipe your map. So suppose you are using 2-3 maps or multiple maps, or those maps are overlapped, and you want to just analyze the maps below the bottom map, so that you can do by using this swiping tool. So similarly there are many more options are available that will make your work easier. So you have to just explore all these options, and you have to get a hand-on experience to use this software. So this QGIS software is a similar kind of software, similar to the ArcGIS. That ArcGIS, most of you might have work on the ArcGIS. The ArcGIS is a paid software. You have to purchase the license from the software provider, and after that you can use that software. But the QGIS is a freely available software. You can do all your tasks similar to ArcGIS on the QGIS. So this is very easy to use and a light software. You can use this software to analyze or interpret all your satellite data. So you have to just explore this software, and we will also give you a hand-on experience on this software over the time on the in this course. So in the next lecture we will explain, or we will show you how we can use this software to mosaic or merge different images, or to generate the shapefile, or georeference a map. So that all kind of things we will see in the next lecture. Thank you.